Alice in Fazbear Land, the White Rabbit. Purple was her favorite color, and rabbits were her favorite animal. Despite the flashy lights and blaring music of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, Alice was a very observant child. So, when a glitching purple rabbit hopped its way through the pizzeria, she knew she had to follow. Her parents, distracted by being next in line to meet Freddy Fazbear, didn't even notice as little Alice slipped away. The rabbit bounced towards a part of the restaurant that was under construction, went down a set of metal makeshift stairs, and eventually led into an elevator where it suddenly vanished. Confused but curious, Alice entered the elevator and descended deep below the Pizzaplex. This elevator was the entrance to an abandoned pizzeria Fazbear Entertainment used to operate, one that had burnt to the ground. The glitchy rabbit with its purple hue reappeared as the elevator doors opened to the old pizza place. Alice giggled as she followed the bunny. Inside was a world frozen in time, the time when fantasy and fun came to life. The building's smell reeked of burnt metal and a forgotten past. The rabbit hopped among the rubble as Alice followed suit. There were several animatronics scattered around, some of which Alice recognized. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were the main four she knew, but one stood out to her the most. It was one she had never seen, and it was one she could not take her eyes off of. The glitchy purple rabbit sat next to this character. It sat next to the White Rabbit. She had large, glowing red eyes, long whiskers, curled up ears, and a silly smile. Alice liked her. She liked her a lot. She knew the other animatronics' names. The White Rabbit didn't have a name. At least, Alice did not know her name. "Who are you?" she asked the White Rabbit. "My name is Vanny," the White Rabbit replied. "And what is yours?" "Alice," she stammered. "Welcome to Fazbear Land, Alice." She reached out her hand and continued. "Come, I have much to show you." Alice, being the curious girl that she was, took Vanny's hand as she led her into Fazbear Land, a room with no warmth. It felt as cold as death. The glitchy rabbit sat still and watched as the door to Fazbear Land was shut. Vanny introduced Alice to animatronics she had never seen before. "Let me introduce you to my friends. Here are the toy animatronics. We have Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, as well as the Mangle. Mangle used to be Foxy, but bad things happened to them." Although startled by Mangle's story and frightening appearance, Alice beamed with joy. She was amazed that Vanny had so many friends. Then Vanny continued. "Here we have the Funtime animatronics. Come and meet Circus Baby and Funtime Freddy. Although they are but only shells of their former selves," she chuckled eerily. When she peered at the monstrosities now known as Scrap Baby and Molten Freddy, Alice was starting to worry that she might be in trouble and that Vanny might not be as friendly as she initially thought. You know," she started, "my parents, they're probably wondering where I am." "Oh, but Alice," Vanny interrupted, "I have one more friend I want you to meet. I'm not sure Come on now, he's been super excited to meet you." Nervous but curious, Alice agreed to meet Vanny's friend. Vanny led Alice into a back room. It was extremely dark, hidden from light. Alice could hardly see. The only light came from a large blue lightning bolt on a red cylinder that had a little circular window on the front. The lightning bolt resembled the one on Freddy's chest up in the Pizzaplex. "Well, here he is," Vanny shouted with glee. She acted as though she were performing. "Creator of Fazbear Entertainment, the man behind the slaughter, he who always comes back, it's William Afton." Suddenly, the room was flooded with darkness. The red cylinder opened as purple light and smoke hissed and poured out from the inside. A spindly, grotesque, robotic hand shoved the cylinder's hinged door open. The creature stared at Alice with glowing purple eyes, the same eyes as the glitchy rabbit. It was not a man, yet it was not an animatronic. It was a burnt, undead fusion of a yellow rabbit robot and a decades-old corpse. Alice was mortified, and then it spoke with a wet, metallic screech. "My name is Springtrap." The creature lunged at Alice, grabbing her by the throat. Vanny gazed upon the child's writhing body as Alice gasped for air. She giggled, "Aw, he likes you!" Then the room fell silent. Springtrap released its grip on the body's neck and did not flinch as it loudly struck the ground. The creature turned to Vanny and looked upon her for a few moments before it sliced her cheek with its ragged claws, turning the white suit red. The creature spoke once more. "Equally naive as Elizabeth."